This week's Torah Minute is based upon Parashat Miketz. Miketz can be divided into two sections. Chapter 41 is all about Joseph's ability to interpret dreams for Pharaoh and then convince Pharaoh to prepare for 7 years of plenty followed by 7 years of famine. Chapters 42 to 44 focus on the sons of Jacob trying to deal with the vizier of Egypt to obtain food during the famine. Jacob's sons, all except Benjamin, are brought to Joseph, who has the power to dispense food. Joseph recognizes his brothers, but they do not recognize him as he is dressed as an Egyptian. The rest of this parsha focuses on Joseph's attempts to determine if his brothers have any regrets as to what they did to him. Joseph creates a number of tests to determine if his brothers have changed since throwing him in the pit and selling him to Midianites. The brothers seem to respond appropriately in addressing the test that Joseph gives them. What makes Joseph think that he has to test his brothers at least 5 times before he is willing to tell them who he really is? Even God only had one test for Abraham. Note that this is not until the next parsha that Joseph actually reveals himself to his brothers. What we are seeing here is the ultimate impact on overdone sibling rivalry. As a youth, Joseph, with help from his father Jacob, is constantly placing himself above his brother, while at the same time, the brothers have had enough of Joseph. A few years ago, Rabbi Lord Jonathan Sachs of blessed memory discussed this parsha and commented on the impact of sibling rivalry on families. In Bereshit alone, there are 5 stories of sibling rivalry: Cain and Abel, Isaac and Ishmael, Jacob and Esau, Leah and Rachel, and Joseph and his brothers. He postulates that sibling rivalry is the most dangerous conflict in families and almost always leads to some form of disaster. Now, sibling rivalry is natural and can even be healthy if done with moderation. If not controlled, sibling rivalry can lead to highly undesirable behavior, especially if the parents are stoking the fire by obviously showing favoritism to one child. As for my family history, my parents had 3 boys and 1 girl, each 3 years apart. There were many opportunities to have both positive and negative sibling rivalry. I like to think that even though the 3 boys were all very competitive, we never got to the point where we crossed the line to undesirable behavior. The Torah gives us a clear message to not let our family sibling rivalries get to the levels that can lead to hard feelings or worse. Shabbat Shalom.